Two teams deadlocked, 21 points apiece, as Ringgold looks to avenge their early season loss to the hands of the Carrick Cougars. All the action here this evening on MVI Live as we get ready for postseason basketball. This game has huge postseason implications in the PIHL out of D2 in the South Division. Alex Lyons with you for all the action here this evening on MVI Live. We'll take a look at those South standings. Carrick and Ringgold 21 points apiece, 10-4, 0-1. A loss in the shootout for Carrick. That came against the Elizabeth Ford Warriors. Ringgold 10-4, 0-1, and their overtime loss came against the Bishop Canavan Crusaders, who are the #1 team in the D2 North. Bishop Canavan 14-1, 0-1, 29 points, 22 points for second place Avonworth. And it's a tale of two different divisions when it comes to the North and the South in D2. You have the high-octane offenses in Carrick, 122 goals on the season, Ringgold 103, and no one with more than 76 on the north side, and that belongs to Borough. Bishop Canavan, of course, led by Adam Sarakowski and Ty Sarakowski. You know, Coach Chris Sarakowski's son and nephew, the head coach of the Carrick Cougars. The other son, part of this coaching staff, Evan, plays on the D3 team at Duquesne. But one big thing to look about that Ringgold had to worry about in game #1. That was Norkovicus, 30 goals on the season for the Carrick Cougars, 17 assists from his defensive position. But Ian Norkovicus, the senior defenseman, will not go today. So a huge loss offensively and defensively out of the lineup for the Carrick Cougars, and that's going to be something that Ringgold has to look to take advantage of with their big three up front, including Ethan Saylor, Nathan Bollinger, and Kenny Cadwalder. The sophomore has been spectacular, and he's on the verge of getting his first taste of postseason play. He missed the postseason last year. Of course, Ringgold, the defending runners-up inside the district, as they lost to really two players, even though it was the Neshannock team. Tino Molteri, the absolute lethal offensive stud he was, and Riley Mostowski stole the show against Ringgold last year, and that is why the Rams were dethroned as champions. Last year, Ringgold went 2-0 against Carrick, 7-5 victory here at the Ice Garden. The meeting before that was a 6-5 Ringgold win here at the Ice Garden. The last time Carrick won before the first meeting this year was a 3-2 win at home for Carrick 2 seasons ago. As, again, these two teams deadlocked, 21 points apiece. We'll take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Cougars from Carrick. As I mentioned, no Norkovicus in the lineup, but here's what they will go with. It's going to be Tanner Heidkamp getting the start. Heidkamp, 21 goals, 23 assists, 44 points on the season. Joining him will be Jacob Fetzer, another high point total man with 26 on the season, 21 assists for him. And joining them up front will be Mason Hagan, 7 goals on the season. On the back end will be Edinburgh with 4 goals, 7 assists, along with Max Jacko. And in goal, the lone netminder on this team for the Carrick Cougars, Logan Keaty, 10-4-1, a .533 goals against average, .811 save percentage. On the other side of things, for the host Rams from Ringgold, it's going to be Ethan Saylor, Nathan Bollinger, and Jacob Freilich. Leading the way out of them is Nathan Bollinger, 22 goals, 24 assists, and 46 points. Cadwalder is not starting. He has 23 for the Ringgold Rams. On the back end, Steven Macheska and Hunter Hodson, another one of the seniors. And in goal, it's the freshman here this evening, Gage DeGinio, 4-2-1, .897 save percentage, and a .249 goals against average as we get set for the opening faceoff. And we are underway here in this huge D2 tilt, as back in his own end, Steven Macheska gives chase for the Ringgold Rams. Battle for it, back behind, Gage DeGinio. Centering feed denied by DeGinio, kicked far side, there's Freilich. Freilich tries to jam it back out to neutral ice and will. Pinned against the board on the far side is one of the Cougars, and back the other way. Here comes Ethan Saylor. Saylor canceled off by Heidkamp back behind. Now to the near side, skating to it and trying to rip it around. That is Jacob Fetzer. Battle for it comes in the near side corner. The Rams had it for a brief moment. Now it's Nathan Bollinger. Bollinger looks to walk out. Bollinger circles. Bollinger to the slot. Taken away by Heidkamp. Flip back into the slot. Freelick turning shot deflected down. Back the other way. Here come the Carrick Cougars leading the charge. It's Fetzer. Fetzer over the blue line. Walks in. Wrist shot. Kick save by DeGinio. Far side half wall. Wide in the drive by Feldman. Goes wide near side. Saylor the captain. First one there but can't get it in deep. As it's wrapped behind DeGinio. Centering feed. Nobody home. Jones had her stick lifted and back to the half wall. It rolls. There's Hunter Hodson. Hodson played heroics earlier this season with some overtime winners as Feldman kicks to the slot and trying to walk in is Furcucci. Furcucci back behind. Canceled out by Steven Macheska. Hawk throws his way into the man in the end boards. That's Feldman, one of the alternate captains for the Cougars as the Carrick Cougars dominating zone time early on. Feldman on the backhand. Now in the corner it's Bollinger. Off the stick of Hawk. Hawk tries to muscle it out along with Lexi Jones on the far side, and here comes Ethan Saylor. Saylor finds his man, Hodson in stride. Hunter Hodson sneaks past one. Hodson, backhander to the near side corner, and that's where the Carrick Cougars set things up. As taken away was Kenny Cadwater. Cadwater cuts in, shot denied by the glove of Keedy, and he'll hang on with 15:07 remaining in the first. 0-0 between the Rams and the Cougars here on MVI Live. Carrick, Cadwater, and Hawk, the trio up front. Pringle and Quattrone on the back end for the Ringgold Rams. And no Norkovic is on the back end for Carrick here in this game as Fetzer will take the draw to the left of his netminder. One back cleanly. Cadwater shot denied by the pads of Keedy. Far side, Hawk can't get it. Heidkamp taking off the puck and neutral ice. The Rams controlled is throwing his weight around as Pringle as the puck's jammed back into the attacking end. Survey near side pass connects to Hagen. Hagen has it taken away. Kirich in front, slides towards the goal mouth, and Hawk has it knocked away off his stick. Far side, it rolls in, taking over. That's Edinburgh. Edinburgh got it out. Hagen gives chase on the forecheck. Quattrone back behind. Quattrone changes direction. Bank pass near side, Kenny Cadwater. Cadwater still in his own end, working on the near side half wall as it taken away by Heidkamp. Heidkamp, near side point. Jackal walks the line, wrist shot in on goal, denied by DeGinio, and the rebound goes wide. Far side, Fetzer. Fetzer wheeling his way to the far side half wall, delayed penalty. Netminder Keedy looking towards the bench, and they're going to tell him to stay. Heidkamp to Fetzer. Fetzer surveys his options. Far side half wall. Now it's Jackal. Jackal D to D. Back down low they go. Fetzer surveys, walks out. He fires, denied by DeGinio. Rebound, he got that as well. And finally, the Rams will get possession just as Feldman hopped on the rink with 13:54 remaining in the first. We are scoreless here on MVI Live between the Rams and the Cougars. Again, two teams deadlocked, 21 points apiece here in the D2 South. Penalty will go against the Rams' Kenny Cadwater as he will make his way into the sin bin. On the far side, Heidkamp. Near side, Fetzer. Fetzer sneaks past one. Fetzer around another. That's Saylor, but Hodgson takes away the loose puck. Now it's Feldman in his own end. Feldman, the defenseman, surveys. Rolls back away from the pressure of Levander. Feldman making his way up over center. Red slid it near side, but it goes right back onto him. Walking in, wrist shot goes wide, glove side of DeGinio, and it's wrapped around out near side all the way down. It rolls. Keedy will come out to play. Keedy sets things up for Heidkamp. Heidkamp circles behind his netminder. 21 seconds remaining on the power play for the Carrick Cougars. And I think it actually might be a minute 20. We might have that opening number burned out on my side of the scoreboard as it's down to 10 and Cadwater just still sitting put. So I believe we near the halfway mark of the power play. 12:58 remaining. Heidkamp tried to one time in his skates. The puck went. Bollinger knocks him off the puck. Now it's Steven Macheska. Macheska had Saylor just a little out of his reach. Saylor off the hop. Ethan Saylor on the backhand. Saylor stops up. Fetzer pressures behind. Ethan Saylor tries to muscle it free unsuccessfully. Fetzer surveys his options. 45 remaining on the penalty to Kenny Cadwater. Fetzer surveys, looks to bring it up himself. Drop off to Heidkamp. Tanner Heidkamp weaving his way through neutral ice. Heidkamp, wrist shot in on DeGinio. No issues there for the freshman netminder. Far side battle. Coming out of it's the Cougars. Shot goes off the end boards. Near side, it's Lexi Jones. Jones Turns it over and back the other way. Here's Hodson, 2-on-1 shorthanded. Hodson now 2-on-0. Hodson shot goes wide. He had Nathan Bollinger all alone, and Hunter Hodson misses upstairs. An absolute gift to the Carrick Cougars and a selfish play by the senior defenseman, costing the Rams a 1-0 lead. Back the other way, Bollinger with the steal. Here's Nathan Bollinger, surveys. Bollinger turns things over, working his way in. It's Edinburgh as it's shot back behind him. Ringgold picks it up off the end boards, wraps near side. Edinburgh off the shot, deflection to the slot, far side, Carrick. Carrick off the half wall, kept alive by Conley. Conley wraps back behind, Quattrone. Quattrone wraps it all the way around near side. Edinburgh has it pinned up against the board. Edinburgh moves it forward onto the half wall as the four-player scrum. The Rams come away with it. This time it's Bollinger and Carrick 2-on-1. Bollinger, toe drag, and he scores! Nathan Bollinger! And the Rams strike first. Far side, past the blocker of Keedy. It's Nathan Bollinger giving the Rams the 1-0 lead. Nathan Bollinger, number 23 on the season, his 47th point. Makes it 1-0 Ringgold here in the first. Bollinger, the little toe drag and then ripping it past the blocker of Keedy. An outstanding move by the senior alternate captain for the Ringgold Rams as Bollinger makes it 1-0 Ringgold. Fetzer looking to counter back the other way. It was an 8-5 meeting earlier this year in favor of Carrick. Cross ice they go. Jones walks in. Jones wrist shot sneaks through loose in the blue paint, and the garbage cleaned up by Quattrone. Looking for Sylvester out of his reach. And the whistle blows with 10:43 remaining in the first period, and a penalty coming. This time it goes against the Cougars from Carrick and Tanner Heidkamp. First time we're going to see this Rams power play that's operating at 29.9% on the year. Carrick's PK 79.7. Nathan Bollinger wins the draw. Hodson has Sailor and said, there's Cadwallader. Cadwallader, rebound, they score! It's Freilich cleaning up the garbage in front. And the Rams strike once more. A power play goal by the senior Freilich. And that did not take long. 10:37 remaining in the first. It's 2-0 Ringgold. Pretty passing, Hodson to Cadwallader. Cadwallader put it on and Freilich cleaned it up. Jacob Freilich, his 11th of the season, makes it 2-0 Ringgold on the power play. Now Jackal walks in. Jackal canceled out. That's by Kenny Cadwallader. The Cougars got to get the offense going. They need it soon. Here's Hodson now. Hodson looking to increase upon the lead. Over center red. Hodson flying in. Hunter Hodson circles behind, wrap around, can't stuff it in at the far side post. Backdoor, that's cleaned up. Back the other way for Cucci. Second effort gets it out. Now leading the charge back the other way and lofting it in is Mansulich. Mansulich sent it right in on Gage Dirginio, the freshman. Now it's Hodson, canceled out. Mansulich centers it, shot blocked down. Second effort for Cucci, and they foot home the rebound. It's Feldman stuffing it in, and Carrick gets one right back. The first meeting was high scoring, and this one's provided 3 goals, and we still have 9:52 remaining in the opening period. As Feldman cleaning up the rebound on the Aiden Forcucci shot, making it 2-1 here in the first. Pringle far side. Now it's Levander. See if the Rams can get it back here. 2 quick goals for Ringgold, countered by the rebound put in by Feldman, as that one's off a deflection back to Edinburgh. Edinburgh sends it up, and now it's taken out of the skates. That's of Jacko and Levander. Turns things over. Fetzer far side, pressure Sailor, sends it back near side. Now Pringle as they go D to D in their own end. Up past Labozo, he gets it off of Jacko, working his way in down the half wall. Now it's Fetzer. Fetzer circles out near side corner, banks it along. 3, make it a 4-player scrum near side half wall. Pringle slap shot kicked away by Keedy. Now it's Heidkamp. Heidkamp near side off the skate of Hagen in deep. Dirginio sets things up back behind for Pringle. Ringgold looks to change direction. As centered, Heidkamp fans on the one-timer from the high slot. Far side, wrist shot denied by DeGinio. As Gage DeGinio going post to post to knock that one away. A turnover to Heidkamp. Heidkamp centering shot. Nice move. Backhander, they score. Fetzer in front. And just like that, a quick 2 for the Cougars to counter the Rams 2. As Jacob Fetzer gets number 6. Going forehand, backhand after undressing the defense in the slot. And no chance there for the freshman netminder. 2-2, 8:46 remaining in the first. As the Carrick Cougars have countered quickly. Nathan Bollinger and then Freilich on the power play made it 2-0 Ringgold. Then Feldman and now Fetzer have answered for the Cougars. It's 2-all here in the opening period. 8:36 remaining. Bollinger in on the forecheck. Bounce pass or bank pass taken away. Nathan Bollinger. Bollinger wheels back behind. Bollinger turning shot denied by Keedy, and he'll hang on as Nathan Bollinger was trying to put it upstairs short side, but the sophomore netminder had the answer. 8:26 remaining in the first. 2-2 your score. Bollinger will take the draw. Saylor flanking him to his left. Face off one back. That's to Lexi Jones. She wraps it around to the near side. Wrist shot blocked down. Off of Forcucci, far side. It's taken by Saylor once more. The captain surveys, changes direction. Ethan Saylor all the way around. He wraps to the near side corner. First man there is the Carrick Cougars defense and trying to clear it out. That was Wright, who eventually will. Back the other way, and that one is Mansulich just wristing it on the stick of DeGinio. Feldman had the first goal of the game for the Cougars. Wraps it around near side. Pinching in his right off the left wing half wall. Right to the backhand into the corner. Feldman back behind off the skate of the linesman. Bank pass near side. Here comes Bollinger. Far side, Freilich. Freilich over center right into the attacking end. Freilich wraps it all the way back behind where it's taken by Bollinger. Canceled out. Freilich helps out. 4-player scrum off the end boards. Freilich, the big body, trying to jar it free as getting knocked off the puck was Lexi Jones. Freilich centering feed, no good. Right to the slot, it's Cadwater. Cadwater in front, nobody home. Back door as he was looking for Bollinger. Back the other way, Jones. Stretch pass near side, out of the reach of Forcucci, and all the way back it rolls on DeGinio. Sets things up for Steven Macheska. Football player at Bell Vernon, banks one near side, all the way down past Forcucci, and it is icing with 7:09 remaining in the first. 2-all between the Cougars and the Rams from Ringgold. Ringgold 1-for-1 on the power play. Carrick is 0-for-2 on the man advantage here this evening from the Rostraver Ice Garden. Ringgold's least output in goals per period has come in the first. Only 28 this season, 2 this period. Both teams do most of their damage in period number 2. As here comes Kenny Cadwater. Cadwater wrist shot into the catching glove of Logan Keedy, and he'll hang on. 7:01 remaining in the first. We are still deadlocked, 2-all. The Rams struck for 2 quick, but the Cougars countered back with 2 of their own. Kirch will take the draw, looking to win it back cleanly to Cadwater. He will not. Near side half wall bank pass, out past Pringle, and Pringle will have to give chase in his own end, set up by Gage DeGinio. The freshman lost the handle. Taken over back behind, that's by Christopher. Christopher to Conley, lost it to Cutrone, who sends it far side. Hawk just watching it, and no Ram goes for the puck, and now Conley gets run over. But the Rams don't have possession, wrap around, no good. DeGinio wasn't tight to the post, so that could have worked for Carrick. Back the other way, knocked down was Hawk. He was sitting on the puck, picks it up, lofts it in deep, right in wide of the glove of Keedy. Near side, banked off the boards. Now it's Cadwater. Cadwater looks past, back behind. Centering feed, Cadwater shot no good, and Schmidt just slaps it down all the way, and that's going to be icing on Carrick with 6:13 remaining in the first. 2-2 your score between the Rams and the Cougars. Both teams go full sail change as it's the top units on both. Fetzer, along with Hagen and Heidkamp, Bollinger, Saylor, and Freilich with Hodson and Steven Macheska. Flip back out, neutral ice, Hunter Hodson, pressured by Fetzer. He has the equalizer. Hodson back behind, Hodson off the boards, banks to Hagen. Hagen right into the skates of Nathan Bollinger. Bollinger slaps that one all the way around. Here's Ethan Saylor. Saylor in the corner. Bollinger played heroics a few years ago. He had the game winner that was supposed to send Ringgold into a meeting with this Carrick Cougars team for the championship but that game, again, never happened. Then last year it was Ringgold and the Shannock. These two teams both have championship aspirations again this season. Delayed offsides, Freilich touches up. Jones with the puck, Sailor will pressure. Jones. Now it's one touch along to Fetzer. Fetzer finds Heidkamp. Here comes Heidkamp, has a step. Heidkamp shot denied by DeGinio. Rebound cleaned up by Hodson. Great play there by Hunter Hodson. Now 3-on-2. Sailor, Bollinger, and Freilich. Sailor works his way in. Sailor to the backhand denied by Keedy. Heidkamp circles back behind. Off a stick. Now it's Fetzer. Fetzer 2-on-2 back the other way. Lost the handle. Hodson back out neutral ice. Here comes Bollinger. 1-on-2. Bollinger wrist shot denied by Keedy. And he'll hang on. Nathan Bollinger was shopping for number 2, but he was denied by Logan Keedy, the sophomore. 4:59 remaining in the first. We're deadlocked at 2 between the Rams and the Cougars. Cadwallader will take the draw as he's centering Levander and Tustin. So an extra shift for Kenny Cadwallader playing center here with his non-normal line mates. Extra responsibility for the sophomore as Levander tries to knock it up, but it's taken back the other way. Mansulich taking it off this stick by Cadwallader, but Feldman got it back. Feldman has a step, walks in, fires, denied by the toe of DeGinio. And here's Cadwallader trying to work it out. Cadwallader with some help gets it to the line into neutral ice. Battle for it right at the blue line, back out to center red. And Mansulich just dumps it in off the stick of Gage. DeGinio near side, the puck wonders. Banked back out. Jackal lost the handle, now it's Tustin. Up to Cadwallader, through his skates, banked back out for Cucci. For Cucci, picking up ahead of steam, far side he goes. Mansulich, backhand feed. DeGinio lets it go back behind. Now it's Pringle's turn to carry the load for the Rams back the other way. Pringle leading the rush, has Cadwallader trailing. Pringle takes it in deep himself in the corner, surveys his options. Pringle all the way back out, gets to the slot. Now Pringle, backhand pass, Hodson wasn't ready. Tustin was covering at the point, far side. Levander lets it go, and the Rams will go full sail change. Hawk comes out. Staying on is Cadwallader. Is also joining him is Kira. So a double shift here for Kenny Cadwallader. Far side, the Rams control Macheska. Now it's Hawk. Kirich up. Off his stick, it Wonders. Turnover, Kirich can't get there. Wonders back behind the goal line. Kirich canceled out. Hawk near side. Cadwallader, sharp angle shot. Makes its way back to Hodson off the rebound. Hunter Hodson. Circles, surveys, backhand pass, connects. That's Hawk. Back to Hodson. Hodson to the backhand, denied by Keedy. Now it's Jones, flips it near side. Christopher on the backhand, out to center red. Hodson's turn to carry the load. Hodson has Cadwallader, goes that way. Cadwallader lost the handle. Kenny finds it once more. Kenny Cadwallader. Stick handling in a phone booth. Far side, Macheska. Fans on the pass. Eventually, second effort, it goes to Hodson. Another Cougar lost his stick. Hodson shot blocked down, gets it back. Hodson to Cadwallader. Backhand feed. Hawk denied by Keedy. Rebound wouldn't go. And it's Wright cleaning it up. And back the other way they try to go, but once again, Cadwallader, what a move. Cadwallader walks in. Cadwallader denied rebound. He can't finish it. Tries the wraparound, no, and eventually it works in. Puck luck for Kenny Cadwallader. And the Rams strike once more. The sophomore gets number 24. He was doing it all on that double shift, and Kenny Cadwallader gets rewarded. And now they're actually going to wave that one off, so no goal for Kenny Cadwallader, and it stays 2s. So I'm thinking maybe goaltender interference on that one. You have the luxury of taking that video and rewinding about 10 seconds, so go and do that. And in the chat, give me your thoughts on that, and I'm surprised. Cadwallader, a clean play, wrapping it around, just some puck luck. Looked like it went off the skate of one of the Cougars. Now it's Fetzer. In the corner, Fetzer to the slot. One-timer denied by DeGinio as Heidkamp absolutely teed it up. He'll try once more, wraps around near side. Fetzer looks for it. Instead, it's Hunter Hodson. Back out, neutral ice, it rolls all the way down. Jackal after it. Jackal behind his net, pressured by Sailor. Sailor in front, Freilich, shot goes wide. Bollinger turns it over to Fetzer. Fetzer off the backhand, wheeling his way back towards neutral ice. Carrying the load up over center red, dumps it in. First one there, Hodson. Heidkamp in on the forecheck. Hodson, near side, Sailor. Sailor, one touch along. There's Cadwallader. Kenny Cadwallader to Sailor. Sailor off the drop. Sailor, nobody home, and now it's Heidkamp to Fetzer. Hodson trying to get back. Fetzer Fakes the slap shot, gets around Pringle. Fetzer centering feed, Heidkamp lost the handle. Now Bollinger to Cadwallader. Past the man right. And now Kenny Cadwallader circles back behind on the backhand. Cadwallader past to Bollinger, and the whistle blows. As I think Saylor maybe a little too far into the crease as he was tangled up with right in front. Could have been incidental contact on the netminder. Saylor, the captain, not too happy about that one. And now head coach Rick Kalinowski, I think, wants an explanation, and he will get that one. Kalinowski's son, a part of his runners-up team a year ago. So Kalinowski getting an explanation, I'm sure not one he seems to be liking, but Coach Sarakowski and Coach Kalinowski both told me how much respect they have for each other as coaches, and always fun when these two, they said, get a play against each other. And, you know, Rick Kalinowski told me, he said, you know, before the game, I told Chris, you know, yeah, it sucks you lost Norkovicus, and I'm sure that helps Ringgold a lot not having a 30-goal scorer in the lineup. But he said, don't let that one player define you. It was a great game the first time. It should still be that way even if he's not there. As Bollinger draws the penalty. Feldman wrapped him up. 52.1 on the clock, and it's 2-2, and we will go to another Ringgold Rams power play, the second penalty of the game on the Carrick Cougars. So Ringgold 1 for 1 with the man advantage, looking to make it 2 for 2. As in the box is Feldman for Carrick. Far side, Bollinger near side, Cadwallader denied. In front, backdoor feed, Fraley couldn't put it home. And all the way down it goes. The Ginio to Hodson. 1:40 remaining in the man advantage, 30 seconds on the period. And right now, that's the goal for Carrick. Kill the period. Then you worry about the penalty. Here comes Bollinger. Bollinger a little far off his stick, and it's slapped back out to neutral ice. Fetzer 2-on-1 with Heidkamp. Saylor tries to get back. Fetzer walks in. Fetzer denied by the glove of the Ginio. Plays it off to Hodson, but the whistle blew first with 11.2 remaining in the period. So a defensive zone draw now for the Ringgold Rams with 11.2 remaining in the first period. Tied at 2. Kenny Cadwallader, a goal disallowed after he got some puck luck, but looks like both teams content just to go to the period besides Fetzer, who takes it in the corner. Fetzer to Heidkamp, maybe. No, instead it's centered and nobody home, and that will do it for period number 1. 1:08 will remain on the Feldman minor when we come back for period number 2. And this is a Ringgold hockey game, so we will take the break between the second and third period to cut the ice as they do in high school hockey after these 17 minutes of play. And it may sound a little weird going in, but because it was filmed for a basketball halftime show, but the in-between period break, we're going to have an interview with Ringgold's very own Nick Pecan of the men's basketball team. Nick Pecan broke some records this past year, all-time three-point record holder in a single season for the Ringgold Rams. So I sat down with him earlier this year, and we'll play that interview for you in between the second and third periods. But after one period of play, we are tied at 2 apiece. Goals by Nathan Bollinger, his 23rd to start the scoring. Then joining in the party was Jacob Fralick, his 11th of the season. That goal was a power play tally for Fralick, making it 2-0 at that point. Cadwallader and Hodson got assists. Then it was Feldman answering on the cleaning up the garbage for the Carrick Cougars, and finishing off a beautiful forehand backhand move was Fetzer to make it 2-2. Cadwallader thought he regave the Rams the lead, but that goal was disallowed. I believe the call was incidental contact with the netminder, as Gage Eugenio switches places with Logan Keedy as we get set for period number 2. 1:08 remaining on this Rams power play. Coming in 29.9% on the season. They've struck once today. Again, Carrick's PK operating just under 80% on the season. Fralick on the near side. Pressured tightly, that was by Conley. Back behind, it's taken in, lofted back out past the outstretched glove of Hunter Hodgson. Gage DeGinio sets things up. DeGinio near side to Hodgson. Hunter Hodgson working his way up through neutral ice. Hodgson with some speed. Hodgson surveys. Stops up. Hodgson to Bollinger. Bollinger, wrist shot, deflects in! It's Freilich again in front! Looked like he got a piece of it. Nonetheless, it's 2-0 in favor of Ringgold, and I think they're asking Freilich if he touched it. Nonetheless, it's either Bollinger or Freilich. One of them let it go, and eventually it found its way in, making it 3-2, in favor of the Ringgold Rams. Another power play goal by Ringgold. Power play goal makes it 3-2 Ringgold. As we'll wait to see the official word, I'll pull up the live stats here. Next stoppage of play and see if I can get that as Bollinger. Now make it Saylor, looks to increase upon this lead. Dumped in by Ethan Saylor. Saylor wraps it all the way around near side. Tanner Heidkamp has it there. Heidkamp off the stick of Bollinger. Bollinger circles, surveys his options. Bollinger working his way. What a move, Bollinger. Bollinger lost the handle on it as Nathan Bollinger was making it look easy. Pringle flips it back up off the deflection. Now it's Saylor. Saylor battle for it at the line. The Cougars take over. It's Pringle's turn. Pringle, wrist shot in from center red off the end boards all the way down. Delayed offsides the call, so Carrick a lot of time to regroup and refocus. 15:39 remaining here in period number 2. That one all the way down. Icing is the call on the Carrick Cougars, so that means we'll head the distance and head back the other direction as I'll try to get some confirmation on that last goal. That Freilich was in front. Looked like he might have got a piece of it. Definitely got a lot of something before trickling back behind the sophomore Keedy. Hawk walking out. Hawk to the backhand, circles back behind, far side Cadwallader. One touch to Hodgson. Hodgson wrist shot, deflects in, rebound off the side of the post. Eventually Feldman picks it up. He'll carry the load back the other way. Feldman works it back out, neutral ice, into the attacking end, pulled it to the backhand. Cadwallader takes over. Kenny Cadwallader back out to Hawk. Hawk into the attacking end. Hawk stops up, half wall, looks for reinforcements. They come in the form of Cadwallader. Off his stick to Hodgson. Hodgson wrist shot, big rebound. Hawk off the toe of a sliding Keedy as he tried to go against the grain. Hodgson back to Hawk. Hawk shot goes wide off the pretty feed. That was by Cadwallader. Centering Fried Macheska. All alone is Hodgson. It's just jammed back to where Hunter Hodgson can take over. All the way back in, there's Lexi Jones. Jones wraps it around. Near side it comes, off the stick. And a turnover. Here comes Hodgson. Hodgson works in. Hodgson backhander. Catches the glass back behind, wraps out to Levander. Levander off his stick, and now it's taken by Wright. Wright to the backhand. Back out. Mansulich. 1-on-3. Mansulich near side tries to slide one through, doesn't connect. Mansulich canceled out now. That's by Steve Macheska. Wrapped near side. He was looking for Levander, but instead it makes its way back out to neutral ice. Steven Macheska. Now it's back to where it can be taken by Edinburgh, who got it back along and working his way in. Wrist shot blockered away by DeGinio. Off the shot by Hagan. Far side it works. That was Jackal. Off his stick, and here comes Ethan Saylor. Ethan Saylor between the legs of one man. Knocks down Conley, and that was from behind. Surprise, no call comes there on Saylor. Saylor centers one off a deflection. Back out past Hodgson. Far side, point 13:25 remaining. Period number 2, 3-2 the Rams lead. Sylvester on the near side. Sylvester can't get it. There's Conley. Conley along to Hodgson. Hunter Hodgson. Far side through the legs of the captain Saylor. Christopher wraps it back behind for Conley. Now it's Macheska. Macheska thrown into the boards. That was by Christopher. Macheska trying to dig it free. It's eventually Hodgson. Hodgson. Near side Sylvester. Off the backhand. Stops up. Regroups. Wraps it in off the stick of Edinburgh. Edinburgh High off the glass, back out, neutral ice. That's where it's taken over by Quattrone. Now it's Bollinger. Bollinger getting a full head of steam, backhands one in, ran into the wall of Edinburgh. Jackal reverses far side. Fralick off the half wall. Fralick out in front. Sylvester's shot never got through to the netminder, Keedy. Now it's Fralick getting knocked down loose in front, and Keedy will hang on with 12:30 remaining in the first. Your score, 3-2 in favor of the Ringgold Rams. Both teams 21 points here in the South. Far side and back the other way. Here comes Carrick. Near side, Heidkamp. Heidkamp working his way in off the half wall. Tanner Heidkamp circles back behind. Heidkamp centers one, broken up. Kenny Cadwallader to Fralick, too far. Right to Jones, who jams it back in. Now it's taken by Fetzer. Fetzer had the equalizer earlier. Would like to get another one here. Cadwallader muscles it free. Jones will give chase. There goes Bollinger as well. Bollinger cuts her off to the puck as Bollinger wraps it back behind. Canceled out. Now it's Tavares. Tavares to Heidkamp. Heidkamp turns it over to Bollinger. Nathan Bollinger just dumps it in deeper, and that's where the Cougars will regroup. Here comes Lexi Jones. Jones over center red. Jones pulls it far side. Jones walks in. Jones wrist shot blocked down. Reverses back around. Now it's Fetzer. Fetzer surveys the options. Fetzer centering feed broken up. Cadwallader back the other way. Hawk. Here comes Hawk. Has Cadwallader trailing. He looks that way. Takes it himself. Hawk centering feed. Cadwallader backhander denied by Keedy, who was strong to the far side post. As the live stats are not working. It took me that long to get to that, so maybe in between periods I'll figure out who scored that goal for the Ringgold Rams. It's Cadwallader, and a rebound, they score! It's Hawk cleaning up the garbage. Make it 4-2 Rams here in the second. No doubt about that one. As on the back door, Trenton Hawk gets number 4. Trenton Hawk's 4th of the season. And the Ringgold Rams increase their lead back up to 2. The question is, this time will it stick? They were up 2-0 before Carrick made it 2-all. For the second straight period, Ringgold's got 2 first goals in the first 7 minutes. Still 10:56 remaining in the first. Here's Feldman. Feldman had the first one, and he's tripped, and that's going to send the Cougars to the power play. Just when they need a spark of life, it looks like the Rams have given them it. Tripping penalty on Steven Macheska. Carrick's power play 31.8% on the season. Ringgold 71% on the PK. Ringgold again, highest scoring period is the second with 42. But Carrick, they've scored 50 goals this period, this season. As they're looking to at least add one in here and try to cut it back to a 1-goal game. As face-off controlled by the Rams, it's Hodson. Heidkamp keeps it, far side point. And Bollinger takes it away. Now it's Levander, one-on-one. Levander gets the blue line, wrist shot wide, glove side. Fetzer sets things up back behind. Fetzer surveys. Near side pass connects, and here comes Heidkamp in stride. Heidkamp carrying the load into the attacking end. Heidkamp stops up, left it for Feldman, it's taken away. 2-on-1, the second one shorthanded for Ringgold tonight. This time does Hodson pass? He does. Bollinger scores! Nathan Bollinger off the feed from Hunter Hodson. And this time the Rams make them pay shorthanded. Nathan Bollinger once again, and that might be number 3 for Bollinger. Again, I don't know who scored the second goal for the Ringgold Rams. So that could be the HT for Nathan Bollinger here tonight, barring who gets credit for goal number 2 or goal number 3 of this game. And a timeout called by Carrick. I think a much needed one, down 5-2, giving up a shorthanded goal here, as it is now 5-2 in favor of Ringgold. This was an 8-5 game earlier this season. No, again, Ian Norkovicus, the leading scorer of this team, 47 points. Norkovic the number 1 scorer in all of D2 hockey from the defensive position with 30 goals, not playing tonight due to an injury that happened in a junior AAA game. So he's not available to go today, but the man who leads the way, tied for second in D2 scoring, Nathan Bollinger, is taking care of business. And, you know, not surprising you see this type of scoring in a game like this. And the reason I say that, out of the top 7 scorers in District 2, 6 of them are on the ice in this game, including Bollinger at 2, Cadwalder at 4, Saylor at 7, Norkovic at 1. So I guess you're missing 1 with him. So it makes it 5 out of the top 7. 4 with Heidkamp and 6 with Feldman. He scored earlier in this one. And now Carrick, they got to score here on this power play. It almost feels like it's score or things might go from bad to worse for the Carrick Cougars, who would fall then behind the Ringgold Rams in the standings in the South Division. Cross rink, it's Fetzer. Fetzer off the hop. Fetzer near side, Heidkamp. Heidkamp. Far side, it connects. Fetzer back to Heidkamp, playing catch up top. Fetzer has Heidkamp. Heidkamp walks in, wrist shot denied. DeGinio can't find it. Rebound stuffed into the 5-hole, and DeGinio hangs on. He was able to keep the leg shut and keep the Cougars off the board once more. 9:48 remaining in the second period. 58 seconds remaining on the penalty to Steven Macheska. Short-handed goal by Nathan Bollinger has increased this Rams lead. Bollinger either 2 or 3, Freilich with 1 or 2 for Ringgold, and the other one belongs to Trenton Hawk, who scored on the Kenny Cadwalder rebound. From their own end, it's Heidkamp. Far side connects to Fetzer, 36 on the power play. Fetzer walks in, shot blocked down by Hodson. Now it's Fetzer's turn once more. Fetzer on the backhand, feeds it through. Mansulich, back up top to Heidkamp. Now it's Fetzer. He looked that way, Heidkamp in front, back door, deflects just wide of DeGinio. Near side centers, rebound, kicked away. Fetzer, top of the circle. Fetzer, draped over by the defense, moved it along. Ferrucci sent it through. In front, shot denied by DeGinio, and Hodson almost put it in his own net as it's wrapped around the Fetzer near side point. Back to even strength we goes. Macheska's release from the sin bin. Wrist shot denied, rebound, and a great save by Gage DeGinio. Going post to post, and then after the whistle, Feldman and Saylor, as Feldman gave a shot to the Rams captain, and Saylor going to return the favor along with Trenton Hawk, and then Bollinger gets into the party as well. As it's Feldman in the middle right now with a trio of Rams, as the captains of the Rams took exception to the cross-check by Tyson Feldman. But Gage DeGinio absolutely show-stopping save to keep it 5-2. 8:41 remaining here in period number 2, the penultimate period of play here this evening. From the Rostraver Ice Gardens on MVI Live, Alex Lyons with you for all the action, as this is, again, a huge tilt between these two teams. 21 points apiece, deadlocked the top of the South standings. Both teams behind Avonworth and Bishop Canevin in points, who sit in the North Division. Bishop Canevin running away at the top of the North. 22 for Avonworth, which is just 1 point ahead of both of these squads entering play tonight. There's Bollinger, sends it out to Saylor. Saylor on a mission. Saylor around 1, but over skates as Ethan Saylor once again takes a tumble, as Lexi Jones boxed him out in front. Lexi Jones plays for the Penn's Elite U19 team, and she is getting set to sign her letter of intent to play at Nazareth College that plays in the UCHC. And if that somewhat sounds familiar, if you're familiar with the local college hockey scene around the Pittsburgh area, the Chatham Cougars women's hockey team part of that UCHC conference with Nazareth. So Lexi Jones will be making returns to the Pittsburgh area next year when she will be playing at the Pittsburgh Ice Arena against the Pittsburgh team in the Chatham Cougars, as she will be signing again her letter of intent to play at Nazareth College, which is a great venue to play some college hockey. There's Levander turning pass out of the reach of Nathan Bollinger. Heidkamp lost it to Saylor. Saylor has Levander. Saylor backdoor feed into the catching glove of Keedy. And, you know, I'm familiar with, as we got to stop in your play, and I like telling stories when I'm on there. Very familiar with the Nazareth ice rink. Was there, I think, my junior year of college doing a pair of Chatham men's games, and I got left by the team at that rink. And Nick, who's running the camera tonight, is absolutely trying not to die laughing over here, but it was a good experience getting left at a rink in New York, so that was always fun. But hey, I made it back eventually, so no harm, no foul. As again, big congratulations to Jones, though, going to play at the next level at Nazareth. As there's Carrick walking in. Carrick, far side, works his way back to the corner, wraps it back up looking for Cadwallader, and Kenny Cadwallader comes out with it. Cadwallader off a stick back behind as it caught the glass. Cadwallader draped over, and Kenny Cadwallader somehow still had the puck on his stick. Still loose into neutral ice, and eventually Cadwallader gets it back. That puck is on a string for Kenny Cadwallader anytime he touches the ice here tonight. 5-2 lead for Ringgold, 6:45 remaining in the second period. Hodson banks it out. There's Cadwallader trying to once again take the puck away. He had it for a moment, kicked back to the line, but not out, and they will say it did come out, and I think that's a tough break for the Carrick Cougars that time by, with 6:37 remaining in the first. Looked like that one held in the zone for Carrick, but that is not the case according to the man whose job it is to make the call. 6:37 remaining in the period as a full sail change. Saylor, Lobozo, and Levander. As this time it's Ethan Saylor's turns to shift the center unit for this line. As there's Levander, flipped it back out. Edinbrode will go back for it. Edinbrode banks it along. Now it's back out, Steven Macheska. Macheska far side, Hunter Hodson. Hodson over center red. Dumps it into the far side corner off the end boards. Levander looked at it, and now the Carrick Cougars look to counter out. They will not. Levander in the way. Has Saylor back door. Levander turns it over. Feldman has it and works his way back behind, wrapping it near side all the way to the half wall. Masulich lost it right to Edinburgh, as Edinburgh just flips it back out to neutral ice, and that's Steven Macheska handling the biscuit far side to Hodson, who just wraps it around. Edinburgh banks it back out neutral ice. And Ringgold, I'm sure, is content playing this back and forth dumping game as they're up by 3. Carrick nowhere near the freshman netminder Gage DeGinio. As Hunter Hodson once again. Hodson around 1. Now Edinburgh takes it away. Possible 2-on-1. Edinburgh walks in. Edinburgh shot denied by DeGinio. Rebound Conley Rashad. Loose in front and cleaned up by Saylor, along with Tustin, as the Rams collapse on the front of the net. And that one sent out off the stick of Forcucci and into the penalty box with 5:14 remaining in the second. 5-2 lead for the Ringgold Rams. Neutral zone draw in front of the Cougar bench. Backhanded out, Cadwallader will give chase. Puck deflects up in the air, and the backup netminder Buddy Meese reached at it, trying to make a bare hand glove save on the bench to no avail. Been a tough season this year for the junior Buddy Meese. Last year was the star as a sophomore, but just hasn't had, the luck he did a season ago for this Ringgold team, and that's why you've seen a lot of action by the freshman Gage DeGinio, especially in the big game here tonight against Carrick, is a huge hit by Kirich on Schmidt. And here comes Cadwallader. Cadwallader stops up. There's Quattrone, near side, Pringle. Wrists one off a stick, deflected to the slot. Back out it goes. Up ahead, pass would not connect as Hagen tried to stretch the rink. Now it's Hawk. Hawk back behind. Hawk centering feed. And there's Kenny Cadwallader. Cadwallader thrown to the boards as throwing his weight around is Hagen. Cadwallader still with the puck on the stick. Cadwallader centers. Jones cancels out. Now it's Lexi Jones off the boards and not out. Quattrone saves it. Jones' second effort pushes it to the line off a skate. Third time, that's the charm for Jones. Here comes Jones leading the rush. 2-on-2. Jones on the backhand, tries to center, broken up. Now it's Conley going after it. Cadwallader finds the loose puck, wrapped around. Jones picks it up. Jones tries to center off a stick. Nathan Bollinger finds it. Jones with the steal, backhands it right back to Bollinger and back out all the way down. And icing will be the call against the Ringgold Rams with 3:46 remaining in the second period. 5-2 the Rams lead. Bollinger has been all over the score sheet tonight, and so is special teams. A shorthanded goal and 2 power play goals for the Ringgold Rams that have staked them to this 5-2 lead. Back out neutral ice, it's Jackal now from his own end. Jackal flips it up, bounces around, there's Ethan Saylor. Jackal, Edinburgh, back to Jackal as they play a little catch. Tavares had it roll off his stick, back to Fetzer now. Fetzer, he scored the second goal, which seems like ages ago for Carrick. Fetzer around another, now Tavares has Heidkamp with him. Tavares walks in, Heidkamp, he scores! Heidkamp puts it home, and it's 5-3. That's the spark the Cougars needed to try to claw their way back into things. Pretty passing as Tavares sent it across the seam, and Heidkamp did not miss. Breaks the string of 3 straight Ringgold goals on the goal by Heidkamp, as Tanner Heidkamp gets his 22nd goal of the season. Off the feed from Indigo Tavares. Shot goes sailing wide. Far side is controlled by the Cougars, as that could be a huge goal for Carrick, putting themselves back within 2 before the third period. At the worst. Shot through traffic, deflects wide. Feldman, sharp angle, shot loose in front, cleared back up. Here comes Cadwallader, gets around one. Cadwallader working his way in to Hawk. Hawk back to Cadwallader. He couldn't pull the trigger, and it was a phenomenal penalty taken by Edinburgh, tying up Kenny Cadwallader, preventing the easy backdoor tap-in for the sophomore. They're actually going to call that on Wright. So Wright gets the penalty there. I thought it was the backdoor play by Edinburgh of Carrick forcing the call, but nonetheless, it's still a power play for Ringgold, and a power play that has been lethal tonight. 2 for 2 on the man advantage for the Ringgold Rams. Bit of a shocker in another D2 game. We'll get you to that in a moment, involving the number 1 seed. Saylor, far side, Bollinger. Bollinger walks in, wrist shot, rebound, Freilich scores! And the Rams get it right back. And that's a possibility now that Freilich has a hat trick. Again, we'll wait to see. That's definitely his goal, but the question is, either Bollinger or Freilich has a hat trick tonight. Live stats aren't updated, so we do what we can. Nonetheless, Ringgold up by 3 once more. But number 1, Bishop Canavan on the other side of the bracket with 0-16 Central Valley. Tied at 0 in the second period, so that's definitely an interesting one. Number 1 in the entire D2 versus the worst team in D2, and they're tied in the second period. You know, not a high-octane scoring team is the Bishop Canavan Crusaders, but against Central Valley, you'd still expect them to fill the net as Gage DeGinio keeps that one out. 1:49 remaining in the second period. 6-3 your score. Ringgold taking care of business thus far this evening. Multiple players with multiple goals. One of them has a hat trick. We still don't know who. As Hawk looking for his second now, he gets canceled out by Jones. Now it's Jackal. Ringgold 3 for 3 on the power play today. Special teams have dominated this game And Ringgold has been great. Carrick has been not. Carrick 0 for 2 on the power play. They've given up a shorthanded goal. Ringgold 3 for 3 on their power play with a shorthanded tally. Special teams always tend to make the difference. As here comes Cadwalder 1-on-3. Cadwalder cuts around one. Cadwalder denied by Keedy. As Kenny Cadwalder, even 1-on-3 can be dangerous. As that one out of the reach of Forcucci, will go in after it. Ethan Saylor. Saylor sends it back. Stick lifted to Cadwalder, so icing will not come. Under a minute to play here in the period. Wrapped around. Feldman out of his reach. Now it's taken by Pringle. Lost it to Feldman. Feldman. Now it's taken for Cucci. Shot catches the end wall back behind as a battle in the corner. Player goes down. Saylor going to get the penalty for Cucci. Walks in. Shot denied by the glove of Gage DeGinio. And another Rams power play. Another Carrick power play. Ringgold has had more opportunities on the Carrick power plays tonight than the Cougars have. They had a 2-on-0, which Hodson shot wide. And then you had the 2-on-1, which Hodson put it right on the backhand of Bollinger, who directed it into the back of the cage. So even though they are shorthanded, Ringgold has been great on all facets of special teams here this evening. And that is why they are staked to this 3-goal advantage over the Carrick Cougars as the top team in the Mon Valley when it comes to hockey. At least in D2, we also have Thomas Jefferson in there, who we haven't got the privilege to cover yet on MVI Live, but maybe come playoff times we'll be able to do that. Whistle blows after the standstill in the corner. 1:42 remaining on the power play, but right now Ringgold just wants to get rid of the next 17.6 and take it to the period break, up by 3 over the Carrick Cougars. Feldman wins it back. Fetzer keeps it alive. Now it's taken by Bollinger. Backhand out of the zone all the way down, and that should just about do it for period number 2 as Ringgold taking care of business. 3 power play goals, 1 shorthanded. It's 6-3 after 2 as it will be 1:25 remaining on the minor to Ethan Saylor when we come back. But we'll cut the ice and we'll do one more period of play. But Ringgold making a statement thus far. Some quick scoring for you. Bollinger got the scoring started. Then it was Freilich. And then Feldman put home the first Carrick goal, tied by Fetzer, making it 2-2 after 1. And then the second period belonged to the Rams, a power play goal. Bollinger let it fly. It was deflected in front. Could have been Freilich, could have been a Cougar. We'll wait to see on that one. And then Trenton Hawk off the rebound from Kenny Cadwalder. And then shorthanded Nathan Bollinger from Hunter Hodson. That made it 4-2 at that point, or make it, and Bollinger's shorthanded goal made it 5-2. Ringgold will give up one, a goal scored by Heidkamp on the feed from Tavares, but then a power play tally by Freilich. And that's all she wrote for 2 periods of play. 6-3 your score in favor of the Ringgold Rams. But when we come back, so we're going to take a break here. We'll have an interview, and it may say halftime and second half of your game, but again, this was recorded for basketball, not thinking we were doing this hockey game, but it will be with Ringgold's very own Nick Pecan, so make sure you stay tuned for that when we come back right here on MVI Live.
Doreen Walters, your full-time realtor and a master certified negotiating expert. One of the most positively reviewed agents on Zillow in southwestern Pennsylvania, with the best marketing and maximum exposure, and a lifelong resident of the Mon Valley.
If you're looking for handmade gifts this season, check out Chloe and Me Candles. All of their products are made in-house since 2014. Their waxes are a proprietary blend of soy, paraffin, coconut, and corn, and they use cotton core wicks and phthalate-free oils. Their body products are made with the finest quality oils, butters, and salts for your skin. Check them out at 205 West Main Street in Monongahela or call 724-298-8696.
Stop on down to Hills Restaurant, Main Street in New Eagle. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dine in or take out. Online ordering now available at hills-restaurant.com. Hills Restaurant, the best kept secret in the Valley. You can call them at 724-258-5422.
Itty bitty treasures and more at Riverside Village Shops for something extra special. memory domes, engraving, awards, screen printing, embroidery, gifts, and so much more. Riverside Village Shops located at 127 Spear Street in Bell Vernon.
Come to Trigimbo Motors, a top-rated Pittsburgh area dealership for over 55 years to actually enjoy car buying. From their extensive high-quality selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks, you'll receive personal care and attention and enjoy your experience at Trigimbo Motors of Bentleyville. Visit their website at trigimbo-motors.com or visit them at 125 Wilson Road in Bentleyville.
Back here at the half on MVI Live and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Time for our halftime interview, joined by Ringgold Senior and record holder Nick Pecan. Nick, appreciate you joining us here for this halftime interview. Again, brought to you by His Place Coffee Community More in Monessen. But, as I said, record holder here at Ringgold. And for those of you who don't know, single season 3-point record. What does it mean to be able to get a record that stood for that long?
I mean, it felt great hitting the shot, especially at buzzer beater when I hit that. But, yeah, I didn't have a chance to get 1,000, and I needed to make my mark here somehow.
You're able to do that, and, definitely I think a staple of what this team was this year, even though you guys end up coming up short in the postseason hunt. You were right there throughout the course of the season. It's just one of those things. Some things didn't fall your way, but a season that under your first-year head coach, I think shows that this program has a lot of room to grow, even though that you're not going to be there. How do you kind of see this program developing and the steps they've taken this year?
I mean, yeah, especially first-year coaches have a lot to, we didn't have a lot of time to play together and stuff, and we weren't. And I was the only one back from last year, or a couple actually. Me, Jake Pahowick, and Daryl Tolliver. But yeah, we had a lot of we needed a lot more time to play together and stuff.
Always tough to end your season missing out, but a lot of good came out of this. You obviously left your mark with the record, but you broke a record in a season where at times it looked like you couldn't even make a shot to save your life. How did you, and that's not offense to you. I mean, you shoot the ball way better than I ever shot when I played high school basketball, I'll tell you that. But, we saw you during the Christmas tournament, and you got back to, it looked like the basics, and eventually things started falling once again for you. So how were you able to keep that confidence and keep putting the shot up until finally it started falling for you once again?
Yeah, at the Christmas tournament, I don't know what was going on. I just kept shooting. A few started to fall, but I don't think about missing. I just shoot. I just keep shooting.
And that's the true mark of a good scorer, that no matter what, you keep putting the ball up, and you were able to do that, and you've done it more times than anybody here has ever done again. And that might be a record that stands for a long time, for years to come. But you're moving on. What's the future looking like for you now that you got one more game left here at Ringgold? Then what's the next step here?
I mean, I'm 100% going to play in college. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure where yet, but I'd really like to play in college.
You've definitely, I think, with the way you've played and shown your growth, that very good possibility. What's it going to take to be successful, you think, at that next level?
Put a lot of work in, like ball handling, put off-season work, and it's no distractions. That's about it.
So one final question for you. This one, a little fun question I like to ask, and Jose always gives me crap asking it, but I've asked it to everyone I've interviewed so far, so you're not going to be any exception. But you've played 4 years of high school basketball, so you've heard a lot of national anthems before playing games.
Yeah.
So is it the best, or at least considered a pump-up song, the national anthem? And I'll explain my questioning, because last thing you hear before clearing or going out in the court for me, it was always a mind clear and said, okay, it's time to play. So what I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I usually close my eyes and just focus on when we're about to play, and keep my mind straight, keep my mind empty, just focus on winning.
And it's definitely worked for you throughout the course of your career. We appreciate you coming by for this halftime interview. Congrats on a great career here at Ringgold. Good luck in the future. Appreciate you stopping by, Nick.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have the second half of your game right here on MVI Live and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. This interview again brought to you by His Place Coffee, Community, and more in Monessen. We'll be right back with the second half of your game here on MVI Live.
Have you always wanted to install security cameras in your house, but none of the commercial installers wanted to bother with you? Now you can call Kevin Ike Evangelo at Right Bite Computers for all your residential security camera needs. Call Ike at 724-272-2145 for your free security camera analysis.
If you're looking for somewhere to eat after the game, check out our friends down at the Foster House 2, serving up their famous king sandwiches 7 days a week until 11:30 p.m. The Foster House 2, located at 1 Cook Road in Belle Vernon.
Look right in the middle where he turned. Oh. Hey, it's not foggy right now.
I know. Maybe it'll stay like this.
2 periods in the books. Still 1 period left to play here this evening from the Ross Draver Ice Garden. And Nick, you're not wearing shorts tonight, so I mean, I know you don't have a mic, but I do want to point that out, that my camera guy was smart enough not to wear shorts tonight like he did the first time we came here. It is one of the colder barns in the western Pennsylvania areas, I would say, so shorts not the best option for the rink like this. But right now, Carrick is feeling it without the likes of their leading scorer and defensive leader in Ian Norkovicus, as he is unavailable tonight. 30 goals on the season, 47 points, the leading scorer in the district, and that's been a huge loss for Carrick. They've given up 6 goals to Ringgold. 3. We have confirmation. Jacob Freilich got the HT, finishing it off on the power play. 2 power play tallies for Freilich, so he has the hat trick. Nathan Bollinger, a pair of goals, including a shorthanded one. And Trenton Hawk, off the rebound from Kenny Cadwalder, has a goal as well for the Ringgold Rams. Feldman and Fetzer, the tallies for the Carrick Cougars. 6-3 as we get set for the start of period number 3. And get another score update on that Bishop Canavan Central Valley game for those of you that have any interest in that. And more interesting, Central Valley up 1-0 in the second over Bishop Canavan. And the reason, you're saying this is so shocking, Central Valley 0-16 on the season. Bishop Canavan 14-1, 0-1. 0-16 right now is beating 14-1, 0-1. As Bishop Canavan, again, it's not necessarily they're known for scoring, but Central Valley's only scored now 30 goals this year, and they've given up 161 goals. And the number 1 team in the district right now is down 1-0 in the second period, as the goal in that game was by Central Valley's Jason Fredericks. Even strength from Jake Essie and Aiden Panoris, making it 1-0 at the 7:39 mark of that period. There's still 5:47 remaining in that opening period in that second period between Bishop Canavan and Central Valley. But head coach Chris Sarakowski, he's had his hand full this evening, and his sons seem to be having their hands full as well. So just a bad night, I think, for the Sarakowskis, as Chris and his squad down by a total of 6-3 as we get set for the third period. Adam and Ty, his son and nephew, down 1-0 to Central Valley, who is winless this season, 0-16 this year, which is just absolutely incredible that it's at a point that, Bishop Canavan's not leading that. But, last year, Carrick coming off a loss to Wilmington the first round, 3-2. That was a huge surprise and shocker that they lost that one. Again, Ringgold, the defending runners-up in the District 2. Neshannock, Tino Molteri, and Riley Mostowski stole the show as Mostowski absolutely stood on his head in that game. The year before, it was canceled. The PIHL championship, it was supposed to be these Carrick Cougars and these Ringgold Rams. Nathan Bollinger in overtime sent the Rams to the championship game. They had the likes of Bradley Bujos on that team, former 60-plus point scorer for the Ringgold Rams in his senior season. Ringgold won in 2019 as well. Moon in 2018, as since 2005, Carrick has not claimed a D2 crown, as they like their chances in 2020, but they like their chances this year if they can play a complete game without Norkovicus. You can't completely say this is the Carrick team you're going to get throughout the rest of the season, but with Carrick, they got to find a way to show some sign of fight against the other top team who they beat earlier this year with Norkovicus. And Nick just pointed this out to me. He said, why does 71 have a penalty? So Feldman must have said something coming off the rink, I'm guessing, to the official, to the player. So we saw him in the box, I think, earlier today as well. We did. And I believe Feldman was also part of the extracurriculars with Saylor and company. He was the man being pinballed around after throwing a cross check to the back of Ethan Saylor. So I'm wondering if Feldman was running his mouth a little bit. So instead of 125 of power play time for Carrick to try to get a spark, it's going to be 4-on-4 for 125. Then the Ringgold back to this lethal power play that has been so effective here this evening. 3 for 3. A shorthanded goal as well for Ringgold. They have not given up a power play goal in special teams, special teams, special teams. That's what coaches preach, and that's what can really win games when it's against its two top opponents. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. Who wins the special teams battle? And today, Carrick has lost it, and they've lost it handedly. It's not just one, it's not just two. It's 3 power play goals against and a shorthanded goal, and you are 0 for now 3 on the power play. So, tough night of special teams for Carrick. And, it's a tough task next week as well for them in their next game, or not next week, but on the 28th, their next game. They'll take on Avonworth, and Avonworth, not necessarily, even though they are right now behind Bishop Canavan with 22 points, which is still a point higher than both these two teams, Avonworth is really led by their goaltender, who is absolutely a mammoth, taking up the majority of the cage, and then, 1 or 2 kind of scorers. So you think that's a team Carrick could win, and then they take on Morgantown. It should be 2 pretty easy games for Ringgold the rest of the way out, with Morgantown and Trinity on February 21st and February 24th. The 24th is here at the Ross Straver Ice Garden. 6-3 after 2 as we get set for the final period of regulation, unless it would be the final period of play unless Ringgold has something to say about it. But a penalty at 17 minutes of the second period gives us 4-on-4 action, a lot of room to work here in this period, and that's going to be right in the wheelhouse. I think the skill players on the ice on both sides, a lot of talent, a lot of skill, and this should be a lot of fun to watch between the two teams. So a penalty goes against Feldman right at the end of the second, giving us this 4-on-4 opportunity. Macheska, Hodson, Cadwallader, and Nathan Bollinger just snapped his stick and grabbed the new one from the bench. Errant pass looking for Kenny Cadwallader. As the blade split in half on that stick for Nathan Bollinger. Now he checks the one he got from the bench. Heidkamp, one-touch turnover. Hodson lost the handle. Fresh sheet. Puck's going to wander a little farther and move a lot faster. As Hodson to Cadwallader. Kenny Cadwallader off the deflection, knocked out. Here comes Fetzer, has Heidkamp with him. Here comes Heidkamp, walks in, top of the circle, shot denied by Gage DeGinio. And Gage DeGinio hangs on with 16:20 remaining in the opening or third period. You know, that throws me off when I'm looking at a scoreboard and it's still only lit up that it's the first period. And, you know, you just kind of read it like a book. You start with the score to the time, and then you look at the period, and the period is still on the first. Carrick may wish with this deficit that they still had that much time to work with. As a block shot by Bollinger, he goes down but gets it back. Here comes Bollinger, one-on-one. He wants the hat trick. Bollinger between his legs, canceled out by Wright. Centers one, nobody home. One touch to long. For Cucci, a little far. He was looking for Mansulich. Mansulich in after Macheska. Now it's taken over by the Cougars' far side corner, Bollinger. Nathan Bollinger changing directions, trying to create space for himself. Near side, Hodson. Hodson to Cadwallader. Cadwallader to Bollinger. Bollinger winding a drive, deflects in on the pad. Bollinger, sharp angle shot, and Keedy hangs on. 15:38 remaining in the third. 6-3 your score. 3 seconds remaining on the minor to Saylor. But Macheska, Cadwallader, Bollinger all coming off. So, and actually Cadwallader's going to stay, but I think Bollinger's still feeling the effects of that shot block. And now with 2 seconds and one, the Rams head to the power play, but Hodson will have to regroup from his own end. Fresh on the ice is the Rams captain, Ethan Saylor. Saylor picks it up behind his net, and here comes Saylor, getting a full head of steam. Ethan Saylor in stride. Saylor walking his way in, deflected up off his stick. Now it's Hawk. Saylor on the backhand, feeds it up to Cadwallader. Kenny Cadwallader finds his man. Hodson denied by Keedy, putting it right into the C on the chest of the sophomore netminder. The hat trick for Freilich here tonight. Cadwallader, an assist on the goal by Trenton Hawk. He has the puck right now. Also add 2 for Nathan Bollinger. Cadwallader fakes it far side, one-timer off the heel of the stick of Hodson. Now it's Carrick. Carrick to Hawk. Hawk lost the handle. Feldman out of the box, back the other way. First time Carrick's got a kill on the power play tonight. Heidkamp knocked off his stick by Hawk. Hawk around another. Hawk up to Saylor. Saylor tries to power his way in, stops up. Saylor surveys, sharp angle shot denied by Keedy once more. 6-3 score in favor of the Rams from Ringgold. 14:39 remaining in the third period. Winner of this game will have the top spot inside of the South. The North right now claimed by Bishop Canavan, who is trailing the Central Valley 1-0 as the winless Central Valley team somehow taking care of business. Is this all the way down for icing past DeGinio? And with 14:32 remaining in the third, we'll go back down the distance and drop it again to the right of the sophomore Keedy. Feldman will take the draw against Nathan Bollinger. Freilich replaced by Levander. Bollinger ties up. Puck jarred free near side for Cucci. Now it's Mansulich. Mansulich, far side in stride. Centering feed loose in front, and that one pushed wide, glove side of DeGinio. As whistle blows, 14:15 remaining in the third. Face-off will come in deep to the glove side of Gage DeGinio, the freshman. Full sail change for Carrick for this offensive zone draw. Christopher Hagan along with Conley Wright. And one more, and that is Jones for Carrick. Conley will take the draw as they're making Hawk back up. Carrick had it for a second, taken over by Kenny Cadwallader. Cadwallader working his way in, stops up, now moves forward once again. Cadwallader right into the corner from right, but keeps going. Puck jarred to the half wall. Kier at center, nobody home. Hawk first man there. Hawk Along to Pringle, slaps it around the boards, back behind, that's for Cadwallader. Cadwallader surveys in the corner around Jones. Cadwallader, the backhand, no! As Kenny Cadwallader was looking to pick the top corner. Far side it goes, Christopher off the half wall. Centers one, Hagan. Can't retrieve it, now it's Kirich from his skate to his stick, lost the handle for a second. Back in the Cougars' end, they try to clear to no avail. Second time, now it's Hagan. Hagan. Pasquatrone brings it in. Hagan, top of the circle, block down, rebound in onto the glove of DeGinio, and he'll hang on with 13:22 remaining in the first. 6-3 your score in favor of Ringgold. No scoring this period. The Rams also had one disallowed, they said was kicked into the net. So that one that Cadwallader looked like he would have got credit for went off of one of his teammates' skates, and then they deemed a clear-cut kicking motion to disallow. Near side taken by Levander. Levander. Aaron passes his man, fell down and back the other way. Tavares chips it to the line but not in. Holding Heidkamp. Now Heidkamp onside play. Heidkamp canceled out. Sailor to Hodson. Hodson pushed into the boards by Tavares. Bullinger to Sailor in stride. Here comes Ethan Sailor. Levander joining the charge. Coming late is Bullinger. Levander off the ricochet, backhands it to the corner. Sailor to Bullinger. Nathan Bullinger pushed into the boards. That's by Edinburgh. Slow to get up as a Cougar back behind, knocked down by the high stick of the Rams, and that will force this whistle with 12:34 remaining in the third. Still a 3-goal advantage for Ringgold over Carrick here this evening. Face-off will come blocker side of Gage DeGinio. Feldman will take the draw, looking to win it back for Cucci right behind him. Feldman off the wall. Has the first goal of the game today for Carrick as two Carrick Cougars collide, and one man will stay down on the ice, and reaching immediately for that left hip, one of the Cougars down in the near side face-off circle, as they're calling for the training staff here with 12:15 remaining in the first or third period, as finally getting back to his feet is Mansulich. As Mansulich just kind of reenacting, saying he got cross-checked and seems to be okay, as, you know, it seemed immediately that they were calling for, you know, some help for Mansulich, who was down on the ice, seemed to be a lot of pain, and now he's going to stay on the ice, and I don't think he's allowed to, and that's what they're going to tell him now. So he went down, the whistle stopped because of him. He has to come off. That will bring Christopher on. Face-off comes out, push forward, but it's now Kenny Cadwallader spinning away from one, passing it off to Hawk. Hawk flips it in near side corner. Right the first man there. Hawk, the smaller body, takes the puck away. Hawk up top into the slot. Shot by Cadwallader. He scores! Kenny Cadwallader maybe put the nail into the heart of the Cougars. It was only a matter of the time before the sophomore was able to finish, as Kenny Cadwallader gets his first of the game. There's number 24 for Kenny Cadwallader, matching his teammate Nathan Bullinger for the team lead at that mark. Rough night for the Carrick Cougars. Everything's went right for the Ringgold Rams. Macheska, now it's Cadwallader once more. Kenny Cadwallader, near side to Hodson in stride. Hunter Hodson works his way in. Hodson to the backhand, lost the handle, and a yard sale in front. Three players collide, the net goes flying, and the whistle blows with 11:35 remaining here in the third. Ringgold well on their way to win number 11 this season, taking care of business against divisional rival Carrick. And Hunter Hodson's the guilty party, as everybody around me, which is a number of Ringgold fans and parents, are not a fan of that call. Nonetheless, it will send this Carrick team back to the power play. or make that one apiece. As also going to take Edinburgh for Carrick. (7-3). Ringgold taking care of business. Offensive zone draw, and we're going to actually just have offsetting minors, so we'll go 5s apiece. So those might not be, or they might not be minors. They could be just offsetting misconduct, so it could be 5s. I'm not actually sure what they're giving them. Could be a pair of 2s as well, but nonetheless, it's going to be 5-on-5. So whoever they deem the penalty is, that's the one disadvantage of not having PA announcers in a lot of these high school hockey rinks is we don't get necessarily the knowledge of what the calls are. But I know it will be 5-on-5, so whatever the deemed total that was rewarded to both of those guys, first whistle after that, they'll be available once again to their teammates and their team's use as Cadwallader lets it sling through. Bollinger lifts the stick as they have Bollinger, Cadwallader, and Saylor out together. The 3 most electric players on this Ringgold roster. Quattrone on the backhand. Into the corner, it's Kenny Cadwallader. Does not have a Quattrone. Reverses back behind. Fetzer takes it away. Surveys, has a man. Up top, goes that way. Held at the line. Shot through traffic. Deflects down. Never got through to Gage DeGinio. Now it's Bollinger to Cadwallader. Saylor up ahead. Cadwallader one-hands it towards him. Saylor tried to swing it back across to Bollinger to no luck. Now it's Tavares. Tavares to Fetzer as Tavares got run into by Saylor. Through to Heidkamp, and that one through the 5-hole and off the post. And the whistle blew right after that, so with 10:40 remaining here in the third, we'll get an offensive zone draw for Carrick, and I wonder, maybe the official just a miscue there, forcing that whistle. Heidkamp beat DeGinio, but the post had an answer instead. As when things aren't going your way, they're really not going your way. And that's been the case for Carrick here tonight. Porcucci in front. That one back up top. Jones a wind and a drive. Rebound knocked down in front. Cadwallader knocks his man off the puck. That's Feldman up ahead. Off the stick of Bollinger all the way down. No icing will come off the deflection. Jones near side for Porcucci. Working his way up the ice. Off a deflection. Now it's chipped back along by Pringle to Saylor. Saylor creating some space. Saylor's shot denied by Keedy. Now it's Feldman. On the near side. Still 10 minutes of hockey to play here this evening. Turnover almost by Feldman. Spins up. Gets it off to Jackal. Jackal bank pass up off the stick of Mansulich. And Mansulich had it knocked back in deep by the Rams. Jones far side, wrapped around near side all the way where it can be taken by Saylor off the half wall. Throws his weight into a man. Carrick wants a penalty, none will come. Shot rebound taken by Bollinger. Bollinger from the corner, turning shot, and now Bollinger. And Feldman once again going at it. And the official looked at Bollinger, who wanted a penalty, and said, "You're both doing it. Let them play." And now joining the physicality is Pringle. As this game's heating up here. Flipped to Bollinger, but broken up. Porcucci, far side, turnover, Cadwallader to Saylor. Here comes Saylor looking to split the D. Saylor has it knocked away. It's a yard sale. Saylor goes flying through the air. And then Saylor knocks the stick away from right. As things are getting chippy here late. Heidkamp, far side. Fetzer around Pringles. He ducked under the check. Fetzer, stick handling in a phone booth. Now it's right. Right wrist shot, glove save DeGinio. Rebound out to Fetzer. Fetzer looks at right once more. One-timer goes wide. Now it's taken up Heidkamp. Heidkamp off the end board. To Fetzer once more. Sustained zone time for Carrick. Pringle will end that. Pringle carries the load. Gets the center red and dumps it in. Keedy will set things up. Right. Near side, Fetzer. Fetzer has Heidkamp with him, joining late as that one off a skate. Pinballs back to center ice. 3-on-2 from center red. Kirich has Levander and Hawk with him, but canceled out. Kirich circles behind, centering feed to Hawk. Broken up, that's Fetzer. Fetzer, backhand feed out of the reach of Heidkamp. Heidkamp looking to win the foot race for the puck. Heidkamp takes down Ringgold, and Heidkamp stick tied up under Ringgold, and back the other way. Here comes Levander. Levander jams it all the way around, wrapping far side corner. First one there, Jackal. Mason Jackal off the half wall, banks it back out. Now it's Hawk. Canceled out by Fetzer. Fetzer can't get around one as it's jammed back into where it can be taken by Hagen. Hagen will regroup. Finally, will Carrick decide to change? They will. Feldman back in. Now it's Hawk. Hawk back the other way. Macheska near side, past Levander, chipped up by Jackal. Flipped it back towards the Rams end, or make that the Carrick end. It goes Levander. One hands it past Jones, pushes her down, and now off the behind the cage, off the back of the cage it went for Cucci far side. Masulic off a weird part of the boards and pinballed back right to him. Masulic near side, Feldman tried to go off his skate to no avail. Quitron back behind. Banks it far side, Hawk. Mansulic takes it away. Mansulic fires, denied by DeGinio. Rebound back behind. It's Sailor. And both of them go at it, and they're both gone. As both will go to the penalty box. So Edinbrode and Hodson leave. And Sailor and Mansulic enter. So two more offsetting minors. Again, it's Sailor and Mansulic for their respective teams. As Ivan Mansulic and Ethan Sailor. Sailor really the only one who, out of the big three for Ringgold, that hasn't been on the board today. And that's been A-OK for the Rams, who have 7 goals through 2.5 periods. And I think the confusion right now is, are they playing 4-on-4 or are they playing 5-on-5? It depended what they gave them. Because I think that's the confusion both sides. What are they skating? Number of skaters. And I think they're going to go 5-on-5 once more, just doing the same exact thing they did with Edinbrode and Hodson. So Nathan Bollinger wins it to his line mate, who dumps it back down. That's Tustin. Back forward and taking it off the hop is Edinbrode. Edinbrode banks it out. There's Tanner Heidkamp. Heidkamp, backhand feed to Edinbrode. Edinbrode over center red into the attacking end. Long shot right into DeGinio. Engaged DeGinio. No issues. 6:23 remaining in the third. 7-3 your score in favor of the Ringgold Rams. A hat trick by Freilich here tonight. 2 by Nathan Bollinger, along with the add-on by Trenton Hawk. 2-0 Ringgold to start, then a quick 2 by Carrick to tie. Ringgold took the 3-2 lead and quickly moved it to 5-2, got down to 5-3, and then Ringgold has scored the last 2. Tustin had it slide under his stick. Icing will be the call on the Rams with 6:13 remaining here in period number 3 as we near the 8 o'clock hour here this evening. Shots 33-27 unofficially in favor of the Ringgold Rams. Scoring chances way in favor of Ringgold here this evening. Conley will take the draw against Bollinger. Face-off tied up. Conley kicked it back, but it goes right to Hawk. Hawk has Tustin with him, draped over from behind. Here comes Hawk. Hawk's shot denied by the netminder Keedy, as he was able to walk around Zeiss Miller, as Elijah Zeiss Miller was looking to tangle things up. Back behind, Edinbrode. Surveys. Edinbrode flips it up. Knocked down by Zeiss Miller and eventually makes its way back to Conley. Now it's Hawk. Hawk loses it to Zeiss Miller. Elijah Zeiss Miller just jams it in off the stick back behind DeGinio. Clock continued to run with 5:35 remaining here in the third. Hunter Hodson, center red dump right into the glove of Jones. Jones off a stick, pinballs up in the air to the line and eventually out. Carrick tries to make their way down. Conley stick slashed out of his hands by Levander. And now the linesman getting into the act of falling down and from his knee makes the call as equipment, sticks, bodies, they've been flying everywhere here in the third period. And a slash is the call as Conley got the twig taken out of his hand. So penalty should be against Ringgold and Levander, who just took the stick out of the Cougars' Conley. 7-3 lead for the Ringgold Rams. Feldman will take the draw, see if this Rams power play can capitalize or make that Cougar power play. As there's Heidkamp. Heidkamp, far side. Fetzer fakes the shot back to Tanner Heidkamp. Heidkamp had the third goal of the game for Carrick. Heidkamp through traffic, never got through to DeGinio. For Cucci, back to Heidkamp. Heidkamp surveys. Heidkamp near side, Fetzer far side. For Cucci in the slot, pushes it wide, stick side of Gage DeGinio. Off the half wall, it's Hunter Hodson just jamming it back out all the way down at Rolls. Keedy will set things up. Again, no Norkovicus has been a huge issue for Carrick here this evening. Fetzer, far side, a little catch with Heidkamp, dumps it in, and on the forward check, the Cougars go. First man there, Feldman. Feldman slammed into the boards in the corner. Puck there, four-player scrum to his side. Eventually, Carrick has it worked free for a second before Cadwallader picks it up and sends it to the distance. 1:03 remaining on the slashing minor to Levander. 4:15 remaining here in the opening, or in the third period. As back the other way, Fetzer comes. Fetzer over the divider. Fetzer walking in. Fetzer shot off the stick of Hodson. Far side it goes. Now it's taken over by Fetzer once more. Heidkamp opening up for the one-timer. There it is, but it's blocked down off the chest of Hunter Hodson. As getting knocked down was Edinbrode. He'll try to get back into the thick of things. Now it's taken by Fetzer. Fetzer working his way through neutral ice. Fetzer stops up, reverses. Fetzer surveys his options. 23 remaining on the minor to Levander. Fetzer all the way into the attacking end around another. Heidkamp crashing the net. Shot off the shoulder of DeGinio. Far side. Conley keeps it alive. Conley shot in. DeGinio tracks it all the way. And DeGinio now throwing shots. And Hodson, as this game, the officials are losing almost all control of. 3:27 remaining in the third, 7-3 Ringgold, 10 seconds remaining on the Levander minor. As Gage DeGinio protecting his crease. Stick on the ice. I think someone lost a twig, could be broken as well, as we'll see what happens. Feldman going to get a minor and Hodson going to get a minor. 7-3 Ringgold over Carrick. .327 remaining in the third. 7-3 your score in favor of the Ringgold Rams. Face-off will stay in deep. As everything has went right tonight for Ringgold, and right now Carrick just has two defensemen on the ice in Lexi Jones and Wright. For Cucci, Conley, and now Tavares. Tavares now make it for Cucci, will take the draw against Nathan Bollinger, wins it back, but it goes right to Ethan Saylor. Saylor in stride, has Bollinger with him 2-on-2. Bollinger looking for the pass, never got it. Now battling free, the Cougars have it. Here's for Cucci, back the other way. For Cucci, shot sticked away by DeGinio. Far side, Saylor. Thrown to the boards was Tavares. Banked back out, Jones keeps. Saylor tries to knock it free, taken away. Conley lost it to Bollinger. The alternate captain just wraps it high off the glass and out. As we're back to even strength here, Levander was released during that last sequence. Nathan Bollinger just jams it back in. Off the back wall it goes. Jones plays pick, and Ecker gets hammered down to the ice, and that will be a penalty. And actually, there's a penalty coming against Ringgold here. All right, make that a delayed offsides. And now Jones picks it up. Jones reverses to Conley, far side, 2:26 remaining. Now it's Fetzer. Pinned against the boards, that's by Ethan Saylor, the captain. Fetzer from his own end surveys his options, 2:14 remaining. Fetzer up ahead, off the stick. That's taken by Heidkamp. Heidkamp cancels out. Heidkamp walking out. Tanner Heidkamp in front. Fetzer denied by the blocker. DeGinio slapped around by Bollinger, and that goes the distance. Another icing on the board with 1:57 remaining here in period number 3. 7-3 your score as Ringgold taking care of business here in a huge matchup, and they are going to pull ahead of Carrick. And as long as Ringgold can win their final 2 games against Morgantown and Trinity, which should be no issue for the Rams, they will have won the south side of D2. As that's deflected, now it's taken. Heidkamp shot denied again by DeGinio. As Gage DeGinio, another stop. Centering feed broken up. Heidkamp. Now it's taken by Fetzer, turning shot. DeGinio got that as well. Fetzer again, rising shot. That one wraps around and all the way out. 1:31 remaining in a rolling third period clock. Hawk threw his man into the end wall. Shot by Carrick. Now it's in front and back the other way comes Christopher. Up ahead he goes. Heidkamp. Fetzer knocks him off the puck. Hawk. Now it's Sylvester. Couldn't get it out, but Carrick will. Carrick carrying the load. Carrick, wrist shot, catches the glass back behind Keaty, but offsides was the call first. 1:08 remaining here in period number 3. Ringgold on their way to win number 11 this season. 7-3 they lead Carrick here in the third. Face off in front of the Cougar bench. All that's left to do is drop the puck and finish this one out. As the Rams have taken care of business here this evening. Avenging that early season 8-5 loss. No Norkovicus has proved to be a big problem for Carrick, and Ringgold has taken full advantage of that. As Saylor, Labozo, and Cadwallader, the trio up front for Ringgold. Jones takes a huge hit by Saylor, and Saylor is going to go off for that one. As Saylor just absolutely stood up and threw the shoulder up on Lexi Jones. As Ethan Saylor complaining as well on his way to the penalty box. And I think Ethan Saylor earned himself another penalty. Hodson got one as well. And I'll say this for Lexi Jones, and this isn't supposed to be, please don't take this the wrong way. If you didn't know any better, you wouldn't think she was a girl out there playing. She plays the game like she belongs out there. That's the way I meant. And I'm a big proponent and big supporter of women's hockey. I announced women's hockey a ton in my life for about 6+ years and still do. I have a game Saturday in the college level. And, you know, Lexi Jones going to play in that league, and I think she's going to do phenomenal in that league with her caliber of talent. And, you know, as much as she kind of tends to seem to be the target of a lot of other teams' players, she takes it in stride and plays absolutely fantastic, I think, especially with all those people kind of trying to almost take runs at her just because they feel like they can. But definitely holds her own out here for this Carrick team, and there's a reason why she's going to play at the next level. As Fetzer walks in, Fetzer sweeping wide, Fetzer in front, back to Jones. Jones near side. Vercucci, wrist shot, rises, wraps around and out. 5-on-3 power play here for Carrick as Hodson and Saylor sit. 13 on the clock. Now it's taken by Heidkamp. Heidkamp, nifty move. Heidkamp loses it. Cadwallader with 5. Cadwallader with 4. Down to 3. Kenny Cadwallader skates it out, and the Rams make a statement at the Ice Garden here this evening. 7-3, victorious. As Gage DeGinio celebrates with his teammates, the freshman picks up his 5th win of the season. A hat trick by Freilich, 2 for Bollinger. Add 1 for Hawk and 1 for Kenny Cadwallader. As we'll run down the scoring for you and then send you on your way here on MVI Live. You haven't had enough of us here on MVI Live. Tomorrow, WPIAL postseason underway. You can catch all the action on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Fraser Carmichael's our game tomorrow from Fraser High School. You can join myself and I believe Jeremy Salou on the call for that one. But your final score, 7-3, the Rams victorious. As Nathan Bollinger got the party started, then it was Freilich on the power play, making it 2-0. Feldman and Fetzer, a quick pair to tie things up at 2 apiece, and that's when Ringgold took over Freilich tipped in the Bollinger shot, making it 3-2, and then Trenton Hawk on the rebound from Kenny Cadwalder make it 4-2 Rams, and then Nathan Bollinger shorthanded with Hodson onto the backhand, deflected it up past the netminder Keedy. That made it 5-2. Heidkemp would get one off the feed from Tavares, cutting the lead back down to 2, but that's when things went from bad to worse as Freilich completed the HT, and then Kenny Cadwalder added the dagger to make it 7-3. Your final score here this evening. Appreciate you tuning in here on this hockey edition of MVI Live. Don't know if we'll have another regular season game on MVI Live, but the plan is to have some postseason coverage that would again be streamed to the Trib Live High School Sports Network. But until next time, I'm Alex Lyons saying thanks for tuning in. Your final score, Ringgold 7, Carrick 3. You heard it all here right on MVI Live. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody.